Hello viewers, welcome to Bethelmatics Academy. So in this lesson, I want to show you how to determine the area of the shaded portion for a figure like this. So look at this very well. We are given a quadrant with a circle inscribed inside the quadrant. So we are asked to find the area of this shaded portion. Okay, so solution. So first of all, if OAB is a quadrant, then it means that line OA and line OB are actually the radii of this quadrant. So let us use R, capital letter R, to represent it. So we say this is R, that is the radius of the bigger circle from which the quadrant was formed. Okay, so for this smaller circle, let's say the radius of the smaller circle, let's use small r to represent the radius of the smaller circle. So it means that the area of the shaded portion is simply the area of the quadrant minus the area of the circle. So area of a circle is given as pi r square. So it's going to be pi capital R square. But because we are dealing with quadrant means a circle divided into 4 equal places. So the area of the quadrant is going to be pi r square divided by 4. That is pi capital R square divided by 4. So this is the formula for the area of this quadrant minus the area of the small circle that is inscribed inside the quadrant. Okay, so formula for area of this circle is pi r square. That is pi r square. So the r is the small r for the small circle inscribed inside the quadrant. So if you look at these two things very well, what is common here is pi. So I can factor out pi, and then it becomes pi outside. What remains here will be r square divided by 4 minus r square. Okay, let me call this equation 1 and keep it. I'll be coming back, I'll be using it later. So if you look at this drawing very well, you will discover that line OA is a tangent to this circle, and line XY is also a tangent. Line is said to be tangential to a circle if it runs at the surface of that circle without cutting through the circle. So line XY touches this circle, and line OA touches this circle. So these two lines are tangential to this circle. So it means that, remember that from here to here is a radius r. So that means this radius is perpendicular 90 degrees to the tangential. So it means that this radius makes 90 degrees with this tangential. And this is like OA is also a tangential. OA is the radius of the bigger circle. So line OA is also tangential to this circle. So it means that this radius R is also perpendicular to this tangent. From here to here is R, but from here to here is R. So this is the diameter of a circle and is giving us 2 radii. So since here is 90 degree, here is 90 degree, here is 90 degree, of course, this remaining portion must be 90 degree. So it means that this is a rectangle. And if this is a rectangle, this diameter is given as 2r, r plus r, 2r. So it means that this other side is also 2r because the opposite side of a rectangle are equal. Since we know the value of this line to be 6 centimeters, it was given, and this line to be 2r, it means we can produce a right angle triangle since we know here and know here already. Let me clean up here. So that means if I join here to here, that means line OX, XY, YO forms a right angle triangle. Then it means that line OY is TR, big R. because line OY is still the radius of the bigger circle from which this quadrant was formed. So if this is a right angle triangle, it follows the Pythagoras rule. It states that hypotenuse square is equal to adjacent square plus opposite square. So what is our hypotenuse? OY, which is big R. Big R square is equal to, what is our adjacent? Our adjacent is 2R all square plus opposite, which is 6 square. Okay, so simplifying this, it becomes that R square is equal to 2 square is 4, R square plus 36. That is 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, dividing all through by 4, I want R square to be free from this coefficient 4. So dividing all through by 4, it becomes R square over 4 is equal to R square, the 4 is gone, plus 36 divided by 4 will give us 9. So making 9 the subject, it becomes that 9 is equal to, I will leave this 9 here, move this R square inside, it becomes big R square over 4 minus R square. So it becomes big R square over 4 minus R square. So let's call this equation 2. If you look at equation 1 very well, you see that it's very, very similar to equation 2. It's just that there is pi here. That is the only difference. So since big R square over 4 minus R square is equal to 9, that means I can substitute in equation 1 and replace the whole of this thing with 9. So substituting in equation 1, so it means that pi, so instead of me to write this whole thing, I just write 9. So this is equal to 9 pi centimeter square. So it means that the area of this shaded portion is 9 pi centimeter square. So I believe that if you followed from the beginning, that the lesson is quite simple and is something you can solve. And whenever you see a similar question like this, you'll be able to tackle it. So if there is a simpler way of solving it that you know, do well to communicate to us in the comment box below. So thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.